Hello, welcome back. If you're new here, this is blank page breathing. A slow place, a literary place, a place for the part of you that doesn't want to be fixed today, just a little less rushed. If you were with me last time, we walked through a forest. A forest that for a little while didn't want us there. Tonight, or this afternoon, or wherever you are, we're somewhere else. Somewhere with light. Before we begin, a small thing. Let your shoulders come down just a little. They've been doing more than you realized. Let your jaw soften. Let your hands, wherever they are, go a little loose around whatever they're holding. And take one slow breath, just one, that's enough. This is the 5th chapter of a play written in 1908 by a Belgian writer named Maurice Maeterlinck. It's called The Blue Bird. It's about 2 children looking for happiness, though by this point in the story they've stopped being sure what that word means. In this chapter, they're invited somewhere, a place called the Garden of Happiness. And what they find there isn't what anyone told them to expect. The gate opens, and there it is, a garden, summer, light everywhere. In the middle, a long table, and at that table, people, or what look like people. They're large, round, glowing. They wear bright clothes that don't quite fit them. They are eating, they are drinking, they are laughing very loudly at things that don't seem to be that funny. In Maeterlinck's play, these figures have names. The happiness of being rich, the happiness of owning property, the happiness of eating when you're not hungry, the happiness of drinking when you're not thirsty, the happiness of knowing nothing, the happiness of understanding nothing, and this one is my favourite, the happiness of sleeping without dreams. When the children walk in, the figures wave them over. Come and eat. Come and sit. There's plenty. And the strange thing is, the children almost do. Because it looks like a party. It looks like exactly the kind of place you'd want to arrive at after a long, hard journey through a dark forest. I want to pause here for a moment. I don't think Maeterlinck wrote this scene to make fun of people who like nice things. I think he wrote it because he'd noticed something about how the world tends to greet us when we finally stop fighting. You walk out of a hard year, a hard relationship, a hard job, and the first thing the world hands you is usually more. A nicer apartment, a better title, a holiday somewhere with pools, a drink, a scroll, a purchase. None of these things are bad. Some of them are genuinely good. But if you've ever walked into a room like that and felt very quietly underneath all the warmth something a little hollow, then you already know what the children were starting to feel. Tiltil looks around. He has a small object the fairy gave him at the beginning of the journey. A green diamond set in a hat. When he turns it, it lets him see things as they actually are, rather than as they want to appear. He turns it, and the figures at the table, the bright ones, the loud ones, they shrink. They become smaller, less radiant, a little tired actually, a little embarrassed. Some of them slip away from the table and out a side door as if they'd been caught. The happiness of being rich turns out to be quite anxious about losing what it has. The happiness of eating when you're not hungry turns out to be slightly nauseous most of the time. The happiness of knowing nothing is, on closer inspection, just lonely. They're not villains. That's what's interesting about this scene. Maeterlinck doesn't make them evil. He just makes them smaller than they were pretending to be. And then the children notice that the room is bigger than they thought. There were other figures in it the whole time, standing in the corners, sitting on low chairs near the wall, quiet, thin, almost transparent. They hadn't moved when the children came in. They hadn't called out. They hadn't waved. They had just been there. These ones in Maeterlinck's play have names too. The happiness of being well, the happiness of breathing pure air, the happiness of sunny days, the happiness of the blue sky, the happiness of the forest, the happiness of running, the happiness of innocent thoughts, and, standing nearest of all, closer than the children had realized, the happiness of mother's love. The children stare. They feel a little embarrassed, the way you feel when you've walked into a room and only said hello to the loudest person there. I want to be honest about something. This scene is 200 and some years old. Actually, it's not. It's just over 100. I keep wanting to say it's older because it feels like it could have been written yesterday. Maeterlinck was writing in a Europe just before the First World War. A Europe that was, in many ways, beginning to lose its mind about exactly the kinds of happiness he put at that bright, loud table. You don't need me to point out that the world hasn't fully recovered from that particular fever. If you're listening to this right now, you have probably spent some part of today, maybe more than you'd like to admit, paying attention to the loud happinesses. the ones that have names you recognize, the ones that come with images attached, the ones the algorithms know how to find. That's not your fault. They are very, very good at being loud. They have been working on it for a long time. And meanwhile, the happiness of breathing pure air is standing in the corner, not making a sound. The happiness of a sunny day is sitting on a low chair near the window, waiting to see if you'll look up. The happiness of running is just outside. It doesn't even come in. It's been outside the whole time. I don't say this to make you feel guilty. Guilt is also a loud happiness in its way. It dresses up as virtue and asks you to perform improvement. That isn't what this is. This is just a noticing that you have in your life a much larger room than you've been using. That a lot of what is actually good about being alive doesn't announce itself. It sits, it waits, it doesn't mind being missed for a while. There is a small moment in the play that I love. The happiness of mother's love, the one standing closest to the children, speaks. And what she says is, "You didn't recognize me because you see me every day." I think about that line a lot. You didn't recognize me because you see me every day. It's almost the whole play in one sentence. It might be almost the whole problem of being a person. The things we ache for at 3 a.m. are often the things we walk past at 3 p.m. without seeing them. The person we want to hear from was in the next room. The peace we wanted to find was the 10 seconds before we picked up the phone. The home we are looking for is often the one we already live in, with the lights left on by someone who loves us. We want to leave you with one more figure. Maeterlinck doesn't name this one. In the play, the children ask the others, the quiet ones, the corner ones, "Are you all of them? Is that everyone?" And the quiet ones smile and say, "No. There is one more." And she is so quiet that even they have trouble seeing her. She stands in the corner with no name. The play doesn't tell you what she is the happiness of. You're left to feel that in yourself. Maybe she is the happiness of having made it to today. Maybe she is the happiness of a body that has carried you this far. Maybe she is the happiness of having survived something that for a long time you weren't sure you would. Maybe she is the small, almost embarrassing pleasure of being warm under a blanket while it rains outside. Of a sentence in a book that makes you put it down for a moment. Of a stranger who held a door. Of the cat asleep 2 rooms away, doing nothing for you but being there. She doesn't need to be named. She's been standing in the corner of your room for a long time. She doesn't mind waiting. That's all for tonight. You don't have to go and find her right now. You don't have to make a list. You don't have to start being grateful at anyone. Just before you go back to whatever you were doing, look around the room you're in. There is a corner. In that corner, there is something quiet. It has been there a long time. You don't need to remember anything I said tonight. Just one image. A bright table. A long row of loud, glittering happinesses. And in the corner of the same room, a small one with no name, still standing there, still waiting, with all the time in the world. Thank you for listening. I'll see you next time for the last chapter.